Morning, morning. We'll be waiting for another few minutes and then hopefully we can start soon.
Right.
For our speakers, feel free to test your mic and then see if it's all working. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, can you
Hello,
hear me?
hello. Yes, we can hear you, Bayo and Raman. Welcome.
Happy to be here, guys.
Thank you. Cheers, man. How's everyone feeling? All good?
Lovely.
Yep, all good on my side as well.
Perfect. That's good. That's good. We'll be waiting for another minute or so and then I'll kick things off. And again, thanks, Bayo and Raymond, for joining today. Really appreciate it.
Hey, shall we start? I think
Yep.
it's
All right, all right. Let me kick things start. So first of all, hello everyone. I'm Hio and currently overseeing partnerships and business development here at Holdstation. Well, today marks an exciting moment as we have a chance to dive into the future possibility with our special MA, Beyond Borders Holdstation Grand Ambitious with CK Sync. To kick things off, I want to extend a big thank you to all our partners, especially ZK Sync, our investors, supporters, and our incredible user. Since 2021, your support has been the cornerstone of our achievement, and for the past 2 years, have all been about building, evolving, and achieving milestones together. And without each one of you, our journey wouldn't have been this impactful. And as you may have known, recently we celebrate a significant milestone with the launch of our IDO on our very own Holdstation Launchpad as well. And I do feel like the result was very overwhelming. Over 2,500 Ethereum have been committed and surpassing our hard cap by 60%, engaging more than 3,500 wallets. And on the 27th of November, we also successfully listed on BitGet, and liquidity have been added on SingSwap. Well, the initial signs are promising, uh, but I want to stress that this is only the beginning of the expansive journey that lies ahead. And that's precisely why we have gathered here today to share our plans, roadmap, and upcoming development with everyone, not only about Host Station, but also ZK Sync as well. Well, without further ado, let's dive right in. So, our speakers, um, will you mind introducing yourself and shedding some light about yourself? Let's begin with our guest from ZK Sync. Feel free to take it on.
Cool, I'll jump in. So yeah, I'm Bio Atkins. I look after infrastructure on the BD side here at ZK Sync, which means that I look after a number of our relationships with our key infrastructure partners, from Oracle providers to exchanges, wallets, and kind of like everything in between in that sense. And again, appreciate you guys inviting me on, and I'm excited to speak. And I'll hand over to Ramon.
Hey everyone, so Ramon, head of product here at ZK Sync for some time now, which in crypto years it's like most likely 30 years or something. Excited to be joining. I love to talk about like the future of blockchain and how can we really scale and get crypto to empower humans in general. I do everything that relates to product within ZK Sync, so from core engineering, from our tools, from relationship with partners, and how we are building things, including, of course, account abstraction. Again, super happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you, Raymond and Bayo. So, to all our listeners out there, Bayo and Raymond are from CK Sync, so feel free to ask any question about products and any development they might have in the future. Right, coming back to the host station team, take it on, Chung.
Yep. Hey. So probably I'm actually on the same roles with Raman's here. So I'm taking care of the products since day one. So it's around like 1.5 years of development so far, and it's very proud like to see like the growth and everything with Jackasing together with Whole Station, and very glad to be here.
Thank you, Chung. And last but not least, Leo, do you mind just quickly share about a bit about yourself?
Okay, hi guys. So I'm Leonardo. So I'm in charge of marketing side of Holstations and building image on and also the customer experience. Yeah, thanks you
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you everyone. So yeah, let's start the AMA now. There'll be four segments, and I'll go through it one by one. Let's go in the first one, which will be exploring the significance of smart wallet and account extraction, right? So these innovations are at the heart of both Holdstation and ZK Sync vision, and we're eager to understand more about why is it important. So ZK Sync. Raymond or Bayo, feel free to take over anytime, but could you provide a little bit more insight about account extraction and why it's such a promising to grow?
Yeah, I'll jump in and take this one. I guess for everyone who knows or doesn't know, account abstraction is a native aspect of ZK Sync Era. It's something that we've long stood behind and tried to innovate with because we see the future of adoption being, at least account abstraction being a key part of the future of adoption. Really, the value add for account abstraction is increased or improved UX. One of the biggest blockers for, I suppose, non-native crypto users is how they interact with wallets. The fact they have to remember a private key or seed phrase, they have to write down some word somewhere, store it somewhere safe. And then in evidence of all of that, if they lose their private key or anything similar, then they lose access to all their funds and everything that they've built up over time. So account abstraction really allows us to improve that experience in a number of different ways. So if you understand simply, account abstraction is making wallets become smart accounts. And with smart accounts, then you can start to program logic into them. So simple logic is things like being able to use alternative methods to sign transactions. So we can say like biometrics. So let's say on the iPhone, using your thumb or using your face to be able to sign transactions, to be able to log in. That is a much more improved experience for people in that, and it's a lot more, I suppose, native in that regards. It also opens the design space a lot more, so you can have things like social login, which is a simple one to understand, and it's native to a whole bunch of Web2 users. But then you can have recovery methods like the social or backup keys or kind of like multi-sigs in that regard. So there's a whole bunch that you can start to build into wallets to improve the experience for the end users and make an experience much more, I suppose, palatable and more desirable native to the apps that are building. So for example, a game might want to add spending limits or there could be recovery methods for a social aspect. So there's a whole bunch that you can do, but we really believe that account abstraction is going to empower how users kind of can adopt crypto in the future. I'm not sure, Ramon, if you wanted to add anything to that.
I think you summarized quite well. The one thing I would add to that, I don't think this is going to change how people interact with crypto in the future. This is changing now, right? And the space as a whole is finally understanding that we need to improve the UX overall. Like it's impossible to scale crypto if we want our moms to memorize seed phrases. This is nonsense. And this is finally happening. And this is why it's so exciting, especially at ZK Sync, having native account abstraction and all of these decisions that we made more than like 1.5 years ago or 2 years ago are finally paying off because we are empowering other companies like Holdstation to really leverage this technology and get how I like to call regular humans to properly use and get the benefits of crypto.
Perfect. No, thank you, Bayo and Raymond. I couldn't agree more. Just a fun little story that not even our mums, but some of my friends nowadays are still finding it super difficult to actually join crypto and exploring blockchain. But once account abstraction hit, I can see that they can start understand more. And so, for our listener out here, account abstraction is simply a piece of technology that helps simplify and improve user experience when they interact with a blockchain. And these can be seen in features such as social login, spending limits, paymaster, etc. And with all these small little features, we'll be explaining to all of you along the way as well. Thank you, guys. Um, Anything to add, guys? Chung or Leo, or we can jump into the second one.
Yeah. So probably Bayos and Raymond's cover most of the point.
Yep.
And yeah, so your decisions 1.5 years ago has inspired us, like because we trust on account abstractions 2 years ago with like the economies and stuff. But when I see the innovations right in ZK Sync, then that's why we choose ZK Sync is the place to build our main focus of the wallet.
Perfect. How about host station? Because I personally know that we just introduced an upgrade, a new version of our smart wallet, right? A very distinctive feature. But beyond this, what set host station apart in the competitive wallet landscape, especially in comparison to other AA wallets?
Yeah, I think I will cover these questions pretty well. The thing is like at host stations, our aims and visions at the beginning is we focus on the user experience. So if you try our apps now, you can see it's super simplified. Even like any BDs or like people outside can actually like try and use it. So host stations is believed in like making a wallet experience is easy for you. The account abstractions wallet is actually very cool. But the thing is like without the art and the designs to simplify it as a normal or newbies can actually try on. So everything we do in here is all about making the blockchains user friendly and getting more people on board. Also, that's like with all the functions with paymaster, gas list transactions, we has been building on Holdstation, not only like the swap parts, like the wallet part, but also like the trades on perpetual. So people can actually pay gas with other tokens using Holdstations. Um, it's not just like easy, but also like very cost effective. So these are actually reflect on the public dashboard that we provide to the communities, and we had grown a lot. Like from a few users in May or June, and now we reach around like to 5,000 users per day, and over like 8,000 transactions per day. And most of like 60-70% now is on ZK Sync. And the thing is on ZK Sync, but they are using AA wallet, not like the EOA anymore. Um, Also, like the second element here is, at host stations, we value the innovations. And even though like in here, ZK Sync is the ZK roll up tier 4 and compare like to all the EVM, it's not like 100% EVM compatible. They need some adjustment on the way. But like at host station, we see the real native abstractions in your code. So that's why we are very flexible and willing to adjust the infrastructures, the architectures to fit into this, to evolving the ecosystem together. And fun fact that like we has been here is like pretty early since the gas at that time is like $5, $7 per transactions, and like a lot of unstable. But now we see we are very happy with the current infrastructures you guys has been built, and it's more stable. And in the futures, we are looking more to apply on the hyperchains on host station.
Thank you, Chung, for the very detailed answer. Um, I think you briefly mentioned that definitely account extraction really helps newbie here. And one thing I want to add a little bit is how are we different from other account extraction wallet is we also have a built-in perpetual DEX, like Chung said, with all the AA features, right? And when comparing to other DEX, for example, we have another advantage is that we are now available both on mobile and web browser. And something we're really proud is looking at the statistic internally, 70% of our users actually prefer using mobile to trade and to store their asset now. And so I do feel like we're on the right path to achieve user convenience. Anything to add, Leo? Feel free to jump in and let me know.
Yeah, I think you guys already fulfilled the information. So yeah, I just wait until my part related to the statistic. Yeah,
All good. Thank you. Well, next question, right? So, Holdstation, account section has gained significant attention within the community and found integration into various wallets. And I know Chung briefly mentioned this, but do you mind to share with our listener exactly what AA features have we implemented and how each of them going to change the user experience, right? And for this question as well, I also want the ZK Sync, Bayo and Raymond to feel free to comment on the answer as well. So yeah, Chung, do you mind just share what exactly have Holdstation implemented and how these change the UX and UI?
Yep, very pleased. So it's just like we are on the view of like normal users coming to cryptos. So what they want is like a very simple thing. So at Holdstation example, the very simple such as like when they just on board with Holdstation, they can use social login in order like to access, and like they don't need to get the seed list recovery, and it's very simple. It's every like store in like multiple piece, also very secure as well. The other thing is like when they come, they don't know what is Ethereum is, to be honest. They just know, okay, they got some USDT they deposit from central exchange, or like in the futures can be on ramp and off ramp through MoonPay to us, and they want to pay or make a transaction, swap, trade. So asking them to convert it to ETH, or asking them to send another transaction for ETH is not efficient. So with the paymaster, then in here people can just like pay stablecoin on anything. So either like they swap or they trade, or even like the referrals programs on us, they all pay by other currencies, like or the token as well. Beside that, like examples, some of the big trades, we also implement like the free gas things. We sponsor the gas for them, so they don't have to pay the gas. We are actually the one who sponsor for that. Also include like all the referrals and stuff. Everything we sponsor the gas to sign the transactions. Also, like batch transactions, approve and swap is traditional now. Everything is batching together into just one click, swap, or you go long or go short, just one click. Very simple.
Perfect. Thanks, Chung. So I do feel like personally when I use Holdstation, one of the few things I really enjoy is actually, like you said, Paymaster or pay gas with any token, right? Because before, when we in BNB chain, we need BNB. When we in ETH chain, we need Ethereum. But now we have a choice to pay gas with other tokens, and this makes the entire process much more simple and much more easy to grasp. Um, Yep, I think that concludes the first part for the AMA. Oh, sorry, Bayo and Raymond, do you want to comment anything?
Yeah, super quick comment, especially on this paymaster part, right? This is when you think about the user experience and what is expected, especially from a newbie user, like using crypto. This is how it is supposed to be, right? When we were like talking about onboarding our moms or even our friends, can you imagine, hey, by the way, I'm sending you 100 USDC to do whatever, and then the person decides, okay, I want to do some transactions or swap, and then they go I need this like if thing here to do the swap. What the fuck this even means? It is expected that you can, like, you have assets. You have assets to pay things. Why would you even need to go and first exchange a little bit of your assets to then exchange the rest, but then you exchange it the wrong amount, and then you say, fuck crypto, I'm going back to the regular world. It's like we are finally addressing these expectations of things should be simple, should be seamless. Like don't make people think. And this is, I am always super excited when I see like companies like you guys just saying, yeah, let's make it simple. Let's use the technology that is finally here and give this to our users. And especially when we are able to sponsor transactions and onboard people easily, like let's sponsor the first X amount of transactions and get people acquainted to the technology and playing around. This is super exciting.
Yeah, perfect. No, you sum it up really well there. And cannot agree more with you because these simple things really change the entire blockchain experience 100%. Just we start with these small things. So yeah, appreciate it, guys, and hopefully to all our listener, by now you will have a better understanding of what exactly is Holdstation and what exactly Holdstation, what exactly is account abstraction, and how AA features really change the way we interact with blockchain. Moving on to the second part. Well, this one is fully packed for the ZK Sync, and so guys, feel free to ask any questions or comments, and then listen to what the ZK Sync people have to offer. So for segment two, we'll be focusing on ZK Sync future initiative and roadmap. Let's start off with this one. Can you give us a little sneak peek into ZK Sync roadmap and upcoming milestone, particularly in the context of AA and its implication, right? So what exactly is ZK Sync have been doing to promote AA?
Absolutely. First, to give a little bit of context for our listeners, ZK Sync, well, the company behind ZK Sync Feather Labs exists for quite a long time, and ZK Sync as a protocol also exists for quite a long time. But this year was the year that we released the first ZK EVM, which is a zero-knowledge rollup that is compatible with EVM. And this has been our focus throughout the whole year. How, from the moment that we reached mainnet, how do we evolve this technology and make sure we are comfortable with the robustness of the tech itself? And also, as I mentioned before, all the decisions that we made 2 years ago on let's have native account abstraction while Ethereum is trying to figure out 4237. Let's work with state diffs instead of cold data. I know super technical, don't worry about this. I just want to say that all of these decisions were super important to get us to the moment that we are right now and to evolve and to go into the future that we foresee. Our main what drives us to wake up every day and work is the mission behind ZK Sync. We want to get crypto to be mass adopted. We want to empower people. We want to give people the freedom to make their own decisions and to be self-sovereign, right? To hold their assets. ZK Sync era was the first milestone, let's call. Now that we believe in the technology, that we think it's robust enough, we are expanding to what we call ZK Stack, which is how do we get all of this stack and enable companies, people, developers to build their own rollups or validations or whatever they want to do with our technology, but in a way that everything is interconnected. And how does AA or account abstraction plays a role into that? We want to get to a point where and although I hate the name account abstraction because it can confuse people, the one important thing is the abstraction. We need to abstract the technology. People don't need to know they are interacting with a blockchain. They just need to receive the value of using a blockchain, all the permissionlessness and trustlessness that exists. It needs to get to a point, people don't care when they are tweeting something that you have a Postgres or MySQL database behind, right? They just care that, hey, I'm posting something and people are seeing. So we want to get to this point where you have this fractal ecosystem of hyperchains that are connected and that people can just interact between them. So you can have, example, Uniswap chain that people that are used to use ZK Sync era, for example, can just do a seamless swap on this chain without even knowing that this is happening. And account abstraction will play a bigger role on how do I, instead of sending money or sending a transaction to a contract that is hosted on address, like a hex address that is super confusing, you just say, hey, I'm doing swap at uniswap.chain or something like that. And everything that is behind account abstraction and how do we authorize transactions or do batch transactions and get everything together makes this experience possible and seamless. So our roadmap is in 2024, we get ZK Stack hyperchains to exist on mainnet. And at 2024, we get all this interconnectivity to happen between these chains. And then it doesn't matter if you are building a dApp on a chain or you want to have your own specific hyperchain because of many reasons, for example, for privacy, etc., you will be able to interact between those hyperchains. All of this will happen next year. So a lot of work on our side and a lot of partnerships like the one we have with you guys to make sure in the end, regular humans are getting this value that we really want to give to them.
Thank you, Raymond. Um, Again, very detailed answer. Can't be asking anymore. Bayo, any comments?
No, I think
Yeah.
when Ramon
Yep.
goes into stride, he really answers, he covers all the points that I would answer as well. So yeah,
Yep.
all covered there.
Perfect.
Yep,
Yeah.
right. Raman is actually very, very excited on that part, and yeah. So the view of the guys who are doing the product is pretty the same as well. So it's like what I say is like blockchains can be like a back end of the of the product, and people interact with that is like just interact with the front end. They don't need to know like the detail behind. They just like think it's like a bank account that they open every single day and they make the transactions. Just simplify as that.
Exactly. Well, I do see, some similarities between two of our product manager. Definitely see some similarity there. Yeah, to sum up this one about, next milestone and roadmap. So ZK aims to have ZK Stack and Hypertrain on mainnet by next year, and then they will also allow connectivities between these chains. And for AA for ZK Sync is all about mass adoption, permissionless, and simple interaction. For the next one, recently there has been news about MetaLab work on a layer 3 chain named Opportunity. Could you share more insight into this concept and its significance within the zkSync ecosystem? So basically, what exactly is Opportunity, and what are you guys doing with it?
Perfect. I have to start with, like, sometimes we put out names and things that we're working and we change our minds, which is kind of terrible. But the concept is, when we said we would work on this L3 called Opportunity, now is what we are calling ZK Stack, and how do we enable hyperchains. In the end is, how do we allow any developer, any company to have their own blockchain as a rollup or as a L3 with Validium, or rolling up the transactions to another L2 in a way that is really customized to their own needs. So as an example, imagine a bank wanting to have a hyperchain. Of course, all the transactions that happen within a bank cannot be public, right? But we still can have a L3, for example, or even an L2. It doesn't really matter the layer anymore with the design that we are doing. You can have this private blockchain for a bank to do whatever they need within their own transactions, that is still connected in a trustless way to all the other hyperchains and to Ethereum itself. So, and because of the zero knowledge technology and the design that zkSync have, the transfer of messages and assets is fully permissionless and trustless. It means that a bank with one hyperchain can interact with another bank in another hyperchain, and there is no third party involved making sure that the information is true, because cryptography and math are ensuring that the information is true. And you can have people seamlessly getting their assets in Ethereum, sending to this one bank, and then transferring to another bank, or transferring to a Validium L3 to play a game, for example. Or transferring, let's imagine Holdstation now has its own hyperchain with cheaper and better swaps or something like that. And all of that happening being powered by this ZK technology that we are allowing people to use with ZK Stack. So when we say, hey, we are working on this thing called Opportunity, which is a L3 chain, this is now converted to, we are working on ZK Stack. And in 2024, we will for sure release, at least, like pretty soon, we will release some testnet within ZK Stack. But at some point in time, there will be a ZK Stack mainnet that is also, control is the wrong word, but managed by the core team at zkSync to showcase the features and how all of this work. But what we really want, we want other developers, other companies to just leverage the technology, right, and start creating things that will bring value to their users. So summing up, Opportunity is now ZK Stack, and a lot of news to come in the start of next year about all of this work for sure. There is some really for the more technical guys or girls or everyone. There are some super interesting design decisions on our architecture that we'll start sharing pretty soon that will enable super fast and super cheap interconnectivity between all the chains. So stay tuned for sure.
Yeah, perfect, Raman. Thanks for that. Very detailed answers. And yeah, we are aware of the change of the names. And it's like when you guys release the website ZK Stack, then we are have doing some testing and stuff around that. And we very love like to like try it more on the test nets that you guys have later on. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Well, now it comes to the last question for ZK Sync. But hopefully by now you guys already understand more about ZK Sync, what they're planning ahead, what technology are they focusing on, and definitely the change of name. So the last question, for projects that are supporting the growth of Hypertrain as well as other innovative tech on ZK Sync era, will there be plans to facilitate these adaptation to these innovations? So basically, what support will other projects will receive when they want to push these technology with ZK Sync?
Yeah,
Anyone is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess on one side, and I'll throw to Ramon on kind of like the product side, but on the BD side, a key thing for I suppose for ZK Sync is to not become a bottleneck for projects and the ecosystem. I think that's why we've taken design decisions to be open source. That's why ZK Stack will be open and will allow different users, I suppose, to deploy. One thing that we are working on in terms of relationships is working with roll-up as a service providers who understand our technology and are able to spin up hyperchains and continue to support different teams. So there's a number of announcements probably coming soon to facilitate that. But we definitely, again, don't want to be a bottleneck as we continue to innovate, but empower our partners to then empower the wider ecosystem around being able to deploy, upgrade, and manage hyperchains in our ecosystem.
Thank you, Bayo. And from a project like Holdstation, who has been working closely with ZK Sync, I can definitely confirm that within the BD side of things, Bayo has been super helpful, and the entire team has also been super helpful. How about support in tech, Chung? Have you had any trouble integrating AA technology when working with ZK Sync?
So far, like everything is pretty smooth. We are like kind of like being testing out and everything working well with all the documentations. But like coming up to the ZK stack, we probably like need a lot of support because the technology innovation is much more heavier compared to like all we has been working on. So the V2 of like Holdstations need a lot of support from ZK.
And we will for sure support you guys. And maybe just adding to the first part of the question on what is the kind of support that we will give. We know that brand new technology needs hand holding, right? And don't take this as a bad thing. Like it's more than expected. And we as ZK Sync and like we as Matter Labs, the company behind, but ZK Sync as a community, we want to help drive these innovations. So we want to handhold projects and partners and everyone that wants to leverage the technology. As I mentioned, like all these design decisions that we make, including native account abstraction, and maybe just one quick comment because we didn't touch on this. What it means to have native account abstraction, it means you don't need extra infrastructure. You don't need to do like different code to send the transactions. You can have your ways leverage paymasters and things like that. Making things easier for developers and companies to adopt is part of our mission. And when it comes to ZK Stack, we want to make easier than it is right now, and we will do, but we are here to help anyone that wants to build on top of that. And again, anyone that is aligned with our mission to empower people and to allow people to be free and to innovate and to co-create and hopefully create a better future for us all. So count on us for any kind of help that anyone needs, for sure.
Lovely to hear. Thank you. Thanks, Raman.
Thank you. Yeah, and for all, like I've said, for all the other projects that are coming into ZK Sync, Holdstation can vouch that ZK Sync has been, you know, definitely a best support, and we've received a lot of support regarding not only technology, but also BD and marketing side of things. So really appreciate it, Guy. Thank you. Moving on to the segment three, which will be focusing around Holdstation recent achievement, right, and future plan with CK Sync. So what do you guys have in mind, Holdstation people?
Yeah, and that means you as well, right? Yep.
Yes, but I'm just trying, I'm just trying to give everyone a chance to, tune in first. Okay, I'll make it a little bit easier, right? So, Leo, how about could you provide a summary of the milestone and mission that we have accomplished from the start of, fourth quarter until now?
Okay, for sure. So on the behalf of marketing, so I'm gonna provide some insight and also the milestone we have received on the last quarterly. Even though we haven't end our quarterly yet, but we have already gained a lot of tractions. So from the on the cumulative users, at the beginning of October, we only have like under 50,000 cumulative users. But at the moment, we nearly reached the 100,000 cumulative users and over 300,000 cumulative actions like user using the swap cents on our wallet. And on the futures product, we have reached the on-time high with more than 1,000 traders a day. Yeah, that's a really huge number for us. And also like people on our product nearly adopt to the abstractions technologies. Over 27,000 AA wallet created and over like 1,000 user interact with the AA like using Paymaster, pay gas by any tokens. Yep. And for the product size, we have gained like 50,000 download on the iOS just within 2 months. Yeah, and on the Android side, we get the 70,000 already. Yeah, and that's really the huge milestone on our marketing side.
Yeah, perfect. As the co-founder, we are very proud of like our team so far. We has been building for 1.5 years and seeing like a very grow of we do on the EVM with the AOA wallet with a few hundred users starting point. Until now, it's like the perp trading is working fine, good stats overall, and we got like overall like good daily active users come and using us and especially like for the paymaster part and also the AA big role recently with the launchpad stuff as well. Some of the percentage I want to mention here is like we saw in August, like when we recently implement the account abstractions or specifically the paymaster or AA wallet, only like 10% of the users using our apps use these features. But until now we saw around like over 62% of user use paymaster use account abstractions and pay with with like tokens and stuff with some discount as well. So it's like what I has been seeing is like if there's like more investment opportunity investment like a lot of trends coming in zk things, then people tend to use this much more in the future.
Perfect. I think Leo and Chung has sum it up pretty well regarding on the milestone and what statistic we've been able to achieve. But from my side personally, what makes me the most excited is that truthfully in the first days of Holdstation, we received tons of question from the user, right? How to do this and how to interact with that. How do I swap? How do I trade? But then at the end of the day and at the moment, our support chat that's literally probably no one there anymore, right? Because everything has been simplified so much with the technology of AI. And personally, I myself, I don't have a tech background, and using and interacting with blockchain for me since day one have been a headache, right? But right now, I can comfortably saying that Holdstation or AA and ZK Sync have made everything much more simple. And for me, that's something that's a big milestone for me as well. Right. So, we mentioned briefly about what we have done, but how about what will we do in the future? Any plan on this, Joe? What
Yeah,
do you have in mind?
on the product side, we got a lot of things on the pipeline, probably like same as ZK as well, and getting busier and busier.
Yeah. How about marketing? Any exciting news? Any exciting campaign coming up?
Yeah, okay. For the marketing sides, we already finishes the first wave of airdrop, and we already like start counting to the next wave of airdrop, and we focusing on users that contribute directly to our products, and uh, really creating the revenue stream to our product, and yeah, we're focusing on that behalf.
Right, perfect. Yeah, and definitely on the partnership and BD side of things, my main focus at the moment will be user. And what I mean by user is we want to expand our user base to even a larger numbers. And I want to, like Ramin mentioned earlier, mass adoption is definitely one of our key focus at the moment. I want more people to try out, decentralized exchange, understand the much security and strong point. Can you guys hear me all right? All good,
Yep,
right?
yep. Oh, good. Oh.
Okay, all good. So yeah, that will be the main focus for us in the next quarter or so. Coming back to ZK Sync, after hearing about our future roadmap, do you have any suggestion or any tips and advice for our upcoming development plan?
The I would summarize as we need to evolve as an ecosystem, right? And like I think everything that you guys are doing makes all the sense, but we need to make sure that it's it's a tricky thing to say. We need to do the right things, right? We see like crypto still has a lot of scams, still has a lot of bad projects that makes the overall blockchain crypto image bad. We need to make sure that we promote the right things, that we build with the end user in mind, that would make it easy, that would make it safe above all. Like we are talking about people's assets, people's like resources. We cannot allow them to be lost like this. So always evolving as an ecosystem, talking to each other and making sure we are taking good practice in mind. I think this is what we need to do for sure. But yeah, like excited for the next things that you guys are doing as well. Excited for sure for what ZK Sync is doing. And I do think next year is going to be an incredible year for the whole crypto space. And decent projects will gain traction because there is no way to stop this revolution that we are doing.
Thank you, Ramin. Definitely security and keeping the asset safe for our user is the number one priority, especially when we are focusing on wallet and perpetual DEX. So what security do we have, June? What have we done to ensure all the user asset are safe and everything else?
Yep. So on that part, I'm very like we very secure on the auditings and all the kinds of stuff. But like the base of the code that we are using is basically like we starting point with like MetaMask, which is like the fully non-custodial open source wallet first, and then like there's some customizations on the way going through, but we still focus on the non-custodial part, so we don't keep the users private keys, and with the new adoptions of like seedless recoveries and stuff, so those kind of thing like it's fractionalized the key, and we never like store all of those users assets. That's the first thing. The second thing is like for the perpetual DEX, we got like 20 days for each epoch to protect like okay the drain out of the funds by any chance. Also, it's like a lot of multi-sigs on the way since like the deployment of the contract. And you know, it's like with the Holdstation in the future, that's like 21 contracts in total working together. So we have to make sure that's all secure. And now it's like examples, we upcoming, we got like some of the features related to our tokens, then those have to be audited before like public to the community as well.
Yep, thank you, Chung. Yes, and the auditing are already in process, and we'll be keep you guys updated with that as well. So yeah, basically, thank you everyone for answering all the questions so far. Hopefully, again, by now, all of our listeners have a better understanding of AA account extraction, ZK Sync future plan, what is the current focus of Holdstation, right? But I do understand that, there'll be some more questions coming up from you guys. So for the next part, I will let Leo, help me out here a little bit. Can you pick some questions from our listener, and so all of our speakers can have a chance to answer as well?
Yeah. Okay. So moving forward